Every morning sets the tone for the entire day. How you start each day can either energize your ambitions or quietly undermine them. Many people believe that adopting certain positive routines is the secret sauce to reaching success. But equally important is noticing what habits to steer clear of. Recognizing what successful people consistently avoid in the early hours can help you understand the subtle forces that shape extraordinary lives. You might not realize it, but the morning is a critical window where your mind and choices are most vulnerable. Your environment and behaviors in these moments often determine your focus, energy, and mindset for hours to come. Observing what successful people purposely leave out of their mornings may surprise you and inspire you to make lasting positive changes. One thing successful individuals avoid is reaching for their phones as soon as they wake up. The temptation to check notifications, emails, or social media first thing might seem harmless. But this tiny habit can snowball into a cascade of distractions. When you set your mind to react, rather than act, you lose control of your priorities even before the day begins. Allowing endless scrolling in the early hours drains willpower and swaps intention for anxiety. Successful people make an effort to disconnect from digital noise during the critical moments following waking up. This helps them maintain clarity and fosters proactive thinking, giving them a clear edge in setting their day's trajectory. Waking up at irregular times is another behavior successful people generally avoid. Consistency in waking hours supports both physiological health and mental acuity. When your body can trust the sunrise routine, sleep quality improves, energy levels are higher, and cognitive functions stay sharp. Jumbled wake-up times leave you groggy, dulling your alertness just as your most productive hours are dawning. Many people hit the snooze button, thinking an extra few minutes will help them feel more rested. In reality, the recurring disruption leads to sleep inertia, making it harder to fully awaken. Successful people resist this urge, knowing those bonus minutes lead to lower motivation and less morning momentum. Their ability to rise without delay trains both body and mind to embrace each new day with purpose. Skipping hydration is an often overlooked mistake that many avoid when aiming for peak performance. Your body awakens dehydrated after hours without water. Neglecting to hydrate means slower metabolism, poorer focus, and an increase in fatigue before the day has even started. Successful individuals prioritize a glass of water upon waking, understanding that such small rituals compound towards greater mental and physical efficiency. Mornings that lack intention can leave people feeling adrift, as though the day is happening to them rather than for them. Successful people never leave their mornings to chance. They avoid stepping into the day without a plan. Taking even a minute to consider intentions or schedule prevents wasted energy and decision fatigue later on. Purposeful mornings breed controlled, productive afternoons. Some fall into the trap of negative self-talk early in the day, allowing self-doubt or worry to set the internal dialogue. Successful people make a conscious effort to avoid critical or pessimistic thoughts during their first, most impressionable moments. Instead, they cultivate a mindset rooted in self-belief, gratitude, or optimism. Refraining from negativity lays down a solid psychological foundation for resilience and creativity. Neglecting the body in the morning is another pitfall to dodge. Successful individuals avoid skipping morning movement, be it stretching, walking, or intense exercise. Getting blood flowing boosts alertness, enhances mood, and kick-starts metabolism. Passive, sedentary mornings often cascade into sluggish work hours and a lackluster approach to problems that demand your best thinking. Many people routinely have an unbalanced or unhealthy breakfast, or they skip it entirely. Sugary cereals or high-calorie pastries can cause a blood sugar spike and crash, leading to fatigue and irritability later in the day. Successful people steer clear of such nutritionally bankrupt foods. They view breakfast as an opportunity to fuel productivity and mental focus, selecting options that maintain energy and clarity. Jumping straight into urgent tasks or chaos is a common habit among many. But highly successful individuals take a different approach. They avoid immediately tackling high-stress or reactionary tasks that bring anxiety or overwhelm. Instead, they ensure their minds settle into focus through calming rituals, prioritizing control before engaging with the storm of daily demands. Skipping personal reflection is another misstep to avoid. Whether it's journaling, meditating, or a few minutes of quiet contemplation, successful people resist starting their day in a rush. They know that failing to ground themselves opens the door to emotional volatility and reactive thinking. Morning reflection provides clarity, helping to remind themselves of deeper goals and values. Delaying decision-making and putting off key choices until later in the day can burden your mind with lingering doubt. Morning is your peak period for willpower and cognition. Successful people capitalize on this window. Avoiding procrastination, they decide on priorities early, knowing that deferring hard choices can sap productivity and morale as the day progresses. The habit of multitasking can seem tempting, especially during busy mornings, but it is something that high achievers avoid. Jumping between activities, checking emails while eating breakfast, reading news while dressing, can fragment your attention and erode mental sharpness. Single tasking allows successful people to give their best focus to each activity, setting a focused tone for the entire day. Some feel compelled to immediately please others through texts, emails, or demands during the first minutes awake. While helping others is important, starting the day in reactive service mode can derail your own intentions. Successful people avoid surrendering their mornings to outside pressures. They use those first moments to focus on individual priorities, ensuring they serve from a position of strength. Starting the day with gossip or negativity, either through conversations or news media, is another common pitfall. Absorbing toxic energy can color your perspective and limit your motivation. Highly successful individuals bypass negative influences in the morning, safeguarding their minds for creativity, confidence, and positive growth. Resisting the urge to compare themselves to others is something successful people make a priority. Checking social media for validation or competition as a morning ritual leads to insecurity and distraction. They avoid measurement by the lives of others, choosing instead to focus on their own journey and progress during the critical first hours of the day. Letting the environment remain chaotic is another thing to avoid. Waking up to clutter, noise, or disarray can confuse the mind and distract from progress. Successful people foster a sense of order and calm in their personal spaces, knowing a tidy environment motivates clear thinking and sustained effort through the day. Neglecting personal hygiene or self-care in the morning is a mistake that undermines confidence and well-being. Successful people give themselves the gift of care and grooming as a non-negotiable start to the day. This small investment in self-respect increases motivation, setting a standard for how they treat themselves and others during the hours to come. Failing to review or visualize goals first thing in the morning is another practice to avoid. Successful people keep their objectives top of mind. Skipping this affirmation of purpose allows distraction and busyness to take root. Instead, high performers use visual reminders or mental rehearsal to align actions with greater missions every morning, empowering their discipline. Rushing through mornings is a dangerous habit that many fall into, convinced that productivity means squeezing every last second out of limited time. However, haste breeds mistakes and ramps up stress, severely impairing creativity. Successful individuals construct routines that prioritize ease and presence rather than frantic output, gradually building momentum that lasts all day. Eating breakfast while distracted, whether by devices, television, or emails, undermines both digestion and mindfulness. Successful people eat intentionally, often using breakfast as an opportunity to reflect, plan, or simply enjoy the moment. Mindful consumption fuels the body and mind, preparing them for peak performance. Neglecting to get sunlight exposure within an hour of waking is another often overlooked habit to avoid. Morning sunlight helps regulate circadian rhythms, improving sleep quality and boosting mood. Successful individuals step outside or open curtains early, welcoming natural light to kickstart alertness and promote overall health. Depending on stimulants like caffeine as the only source of energy is a trap that successful people avoid. While coffee can be enjoyed, relying on it without attending to hydration, nutrition, or movement leads to energy crashes and dependence. A balanced approach, with consideration for natural energy-boosting habits, leads to sustained sharpness throughout the day. Letting other people's moods dictate your emotional state is a subtle pitfall. if the household is tense or colleagues are stressed. Absorbing that energy can drag your mood and effectiveness down. Successful people create emotional boundaries, prioritizing their own mindset and protecting positivity during vulnerable morning moments. Staying inside your comfort zone every morning can gently stifle growth. Successful people avoid routines that lull them into complacency. By purposefully including small challenges, learning something new, taking a cold shower, or practicing difficult skills, they build resilience and foster ongoing personal transformation before the workday begins. Relying solely on willpower to get through the morning often leads to inconsistent routines. Successful individuals build systems, habits, and cues to ease decision-making. They avoid the pitfall of starting from scratch each day and instead let established routines carry them through moments of temptation or inertia. Ignoring gratitude is another mistake that successful people steer clear of. Beginning the day without acknowledging positive aspects of life can fuel dissatisfaction and stress. Morning gratitude practices, however brief, have been shown to enhance happiness, motivation, and even physical health, giving achievers lasting strength in their endeavors. Overplanning or overcrowding the morning with too many complex tasks can undermine your focus. Successful people are careful to avoid cramming their first hours with unnecessary obligations. They create space for preparation, creativity, and adaptation, trusting that a well-organized and uncluttered start leads to more robust and fewer wasted efforts. Tolerating persistent noise pollution, be it blaring televisions, traffic, or unruly devices, can erode peace of mind. Successful individuals curate their sound environment in the early hours, sometimes adding music or silence that enhances calm and concentration. Protecting their auditory space is a deliberate choice for long-term focus and wellness. Starting work with low value or busy work tasks can sap momentum and confidence. Successful people avoid getting bogged down in trivial matters at the beginning of the day. By waiting to check emails or perform administrative chores until after key intentions are set, they preserve mental clarity for important challenges. Failing to acknowledge and adapt to your own biorhythms can be a hidden saboteur. Morning routines that are copied blindly from others, without attention to personal sleep cycles or energy patterns, often fail. Successful people pay attention to what works best for their individual bodies, avoiding routines that ignore their unique needs. Letting to-do lists expand chaotically is another morning hazard. Successful individuals are judicious with new commitments, especially in the early hours. Instead of mindlessly adding tasks, they regularly reevaluate priorities and trim projects that don't serve their long-term vision. This discipline keeps mornings empowering, not overwhelming. Neglecting creative time in exchange for rushed productivity is a shortcut to stagnation. Successful people protect a small pocket of time each morning for writing, brainstorming, or exploring new ideas. Ignoring creativity in favor of rote action may feel effective but ultimately limits the breadth of your success. Forgetting to review yesterday's accomplishments, and only focusing on what's lacking, is a habit that diminishes confidence. Successful individuals take time in the morning to recognize progress, however small. This fosters momentum and cements a growth mindset, fueling their motivation for continued achievement. Succumbing to self-imposed guilt for imperfect mornings is counterproductive. Successful people accept that routines occasionally falter and avoid harsh self-judgment. Compassion towards oneself enables flexibility, adaptability, and consistent improvement, rather than discouragement. Letting plans change chaotically or within minutes of waking can result in feeling scattered. Successful individuals finalize important decisions or commitments the night before, reducing uncertainty. This allows for smoother transitions and ensures they greet each day with stability and purpose. Ignoring micro moments of joy, sunlight, laughter, quiet, pets, deprives your day of the energy that fuels sustainable success. Successful people remain open to these experiences, weaving meaning throughout even the smallest moments of their morning. Avoiding collaboration or quality connection with loved ones or supportive friends early in the day can be a missed opportunity. Successful people nurture their relationships regularly, using breakfast or short conversations to fortify social bonds and lighten their outlook before diving into professional commitments. Postponing learning is a routine that leads to stagnation. Successful individuals feed their minds with a book, a podcast, or a new language in the morning's quiet. They avoid letting education become an afterthought, as continual self-development is a non-negotiable feature of their success. Improper use of affirmations is a hidden hazard. Blanket positive statements, repeated without conviction or alignment with personal goals, may be ignored by your subconscious. Successful people ensure their affirmations are meaningful, specific, and deeply connected to their mission, using them as powerful tools rather than empty platitudes. Failing to anticipate and prepare for challenges means your morning energy will be used up by every minor mishap. Successful people mentally rehearse obstacles, planning how to respond rather than merely react. This habit sidesteps surprises and provides a calm, capable presence throughout the day. Allowing clutter to accumulate in your workspace, be it physical or digital, is another form of morning sabotage. Successful individuals tidy their environments, clearing distractions and creating a zone for clarity and progress. This daily reset makes way for creativity and efficiency during busy hours. Neglecting to breathe deeply and pause, even for a minute, keeps your nervous system stuck in overdrive. Successful people take moments in the morning to center themselves, using breathwork or pauses to reduce anxiety and tune into their best selves before the rush begins. Mindless consumption of news, especially negative or sensationalist headlines, can poison your mindset. Successful people curate their information diet, choosing sources that inform without overwhelming. They avoid letting fear-mongering or outrage dictate their emotional tone at the break of day. Believing that there is no room for fun or play in the morning is a self-limiting mindset. Successful people often incorporate laughter, music, or lighthearted interactions into their morning. As a result, energy and creativity thrive, setting a tone for a fulfilling and engaged day. Persistent avoidance of self-reflection leads to a loss of direction over time. Successful individuals check in with their values, aspirations, and current mindset each morning. These moments of inner dialogue act as a compass, guiding choices and behaviors in alignment with their highest ambitions. Holding onto rigid expectations and resisting necessary change is a habit that can leave you frustrated. Successful people avoid clinging to old routines that no longer serve them, opting instead to adapt as needed. Embracing change in the morning, even in small ways, builds agility and optimism for everything that follows. As we've explored, what you leave out of your morning matters as much as what you put in. The world's most successful people are defined not only by powerful rituals but by careful avoidance of routines that cause stress, distraction, or negativity. If you're ready to take charge of your mornings, pay close attention to these habits to avoid. Your future self will thank you. Remember, transformation does not require perfection, just intention. Small, cumulative changes in what you avoid can create a ripple effect leading to greater energy, focus, and fulfillment. It's never too late to adjust your approach and shape a morning routine that truly propels you forward. If this video resonated with you and you're looking for more actionable tips to level up your daily habits, make sure to subscribe to Wellness IQ. Give us a thumbs up, and share your favorite morning routine adjustments in the comments below. Your journey to a life of clarity, energy, and purpose begins with the choices you make, starting tomorrow morning. Let's level up together.